Hello and good morning. Welcome to our children's talk today. We're going to be looking at a story of Jesus and having a meal with him, as we have been doing for the last few weeks. Today's story is about the best seat in the house. Now take your napkin, tuck it in, we're ready for a meal with Jesus. Here we go. Now today's meal takes place on the Sabbath day. This is the holy day, God's holy day of rest. And Jesus was eating at the house of a prominent religious leader, and he was being carefully watched. In front of him was a man suffering with a very nasty disease. Jesus asked the Pharisees and the experts in the law. These are people who like to create new laws to tell people what they could do and what they couldn't do, and they'd write a little bit in there, no, you can't do this, you can do that. And they didn't really understand what the law was actually there for, which was the fact that God created everything in the universe in 6 days, and then on the seventh day he rested. And to reflect that, what we do is we work for 6 days and we stop to rest and worship God and remember how holy and wonderful he is on the seventh day. And that's what they were meant to be doing, not being nitpickety. And so Jesus asked them, is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath or not? Because he wanted to heal that man. They remained silent. So he took hold of the man and he healed him and sent him away. Then he asked them, okay, so if one of you has a child or maybe a cow who falls into a well, now wells are deep and dangerous places, would you not lift them out even if it's on the Sabbath day, or would you wait for the next day? Again, they had nothing to say. So then he noticed how the guests had picked the places of honour at the table that they were sitting, and so he thought he'd tell them a little parable. He said, when someone invites you to a wedding feast, don't take the place of honour, for a person more distinguished and more honoured than yourself may have been invited. If so, the host who invited both of you will come and say to you, "Oi, move on, give this man your seat. You're not the honoured guest, he's the honoured guest. Come on, get out." And you're going to feel pretty embarrassed, I can tell you. Very embarrassed indeed. Very silly. So then you'll have to go and take the least important place anyway. So when you're invited, take the lowest place, the smallest place, so that when your host comes and he sees you there, he will say, come my friend, move to a better place. Come on, you're an honoured guest. Come on, sit in the best place. And then you will be honoured and made to feel very special in the presence of all the other guests. Then Jesus said, for everyone who exalts themselves will be humbled, but whoever humbles themselves will be exalted. What do those words mean? What on earth do they mean? They're not even very long, they're just weird. Exalted, humbled. You know, you may have heard people mention humble pie. I'll get back to that. But what does it mean to be exalted and humbled? You see, I have a little example. It's quite similar to Jesus's one, actually. If I were to invite you for dinner at the Machinsky family home, I have 2 types of seats here. Now, this one is our best model. This is the armchair. Everyone wants to sit in this. Sorry, here I am, I'm back. Everyone wants to sit in the armchair. You get to rest your arms, you can lean back, you can relax, you can take a fork full of food, and then you can rest your arm again. It's the place of honour. Everyone wants to sit here. On the other hand, now this is not because we don't like some people more than or less than other people, we also have stools because there's not enough space for everybody. So if you can see me. Anyway, these are a bit flimsy, they kind of wobble a bit and you almost fall off them. There's no back, you can't lean back or you'll definitely fall off them. Nobody really wants to sit on the stools, sadly. They're also usually on the corner, so you have the table poking you. But anyway, it's not really the place of honour. Not many people want to sit there. But what Jesus is trying to say is, when you do find yourself in that situation, if you go for the honoured seat, the armchair, At some point, someone more honoured than you is going to come along, and you're going to feel pretty silly when they tell you to move. So, I'm going to take the advice. I'm going to sit on the stool. Yeah, it's a bit flimsy. Anyway, if you take the lowest place, like the stool, yeah, okay, you might have a bit of an uncomfortable meal. But do you know what? Someone will probably see that you're feeling a bit uncomfortable, and they'll say, oh, look, come and find, we've got a better chair, or here's a cushion. Actually, do you know what? Do you want to come sit in the armchair? How special would you feel then if everybody there saw you getting moved into the place of honour? How special. The point is that Jesus is saying you need to look out for other people. Be kind to them. Give them the thing that you really want yourself. Be humble. That's what it means, to give up what you think you may deserve, but you realise, no, I don't really deserve it. Let someone else take it. And God sees that. He will reward that. He will give you something else instead later on. I don't know what that will be. It might be something now, it might be something later. You may not even see it, but God will reward you for that action. It's the same if you have 2 pieces of cake and you and your siblings are fighting over it, the bigger one and the smaller one, or the one with all the icing on it and the one with none of the icing. Instead of fighting over it to who gets the bigger piece, just take the smaller one, be humble, go, I'm going to be kind, and remember what Jesus said, to be kind to my brother and my sister and my neighbour and my friend and even the people I don't know, so that I can tell them just how much Jesus loves them in the same way that I'm trying to show love to them as well. So remember, next time, do your best to be humble, and maybe take the piece of humble pie that's a little bit smaller, and that way it won't taste so bad, because humble pie doesn't taste very good. Ask your parents. Have a good week.